Hey everybody, it's Maiden. Good morning. It is. Sorry guys. Okay, Saturday. It's 2:19 p.m. August. I think 16th, 15th. Okay, guys. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Hold on a second, because I thought today was. I'm not sure if we're all synchronized here on this clock. One moment. Sorry about this. Yeah. Okay. So it's Saturday the 15th. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but I have, you know, been really like, God has just got like all of this on my heart. Now, I felt like I just need to make this video because nobody's saying anything about the post offices. Okay. So we have our freedom of the press, and that has gone down. Okay. Newspapers are hard to find. They're shutting down newspapers. This is these are quintessential main fiber fabric. Part of the fabric of America is we can always get a hold of a news paper. The news is able to be accessed. This is our freedom to know. And then part of our post offices is our part of our freedoms, which you can find in the Constitution of the United States under section. So it would be the Constitution of the United States with annotations, and you will find it under Article 1, Section 8. Let me read it to you. To Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises, to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. But all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States. To borrow money on the credit of the United States. Okay, so this is part of the other part. So the first one was that they're able to impose, or they're able to lay and collect taxes. It doesn't say mandatory, it just says they're able. Okay. Duties is another revenue stream of imposing imposts, okay, and excises. So we have to study that. To pay the debts specifically and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. Semicolon. But, which is a negation of the before. But all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States. So none of those are going on uniform throughout the United States. All right, number 2, to borrow money on the credit of the United States. Number 3, to regulate commerce. So it doesn't hold, it says to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with the Indian tribes. Those are 3 different parties, separate identities. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. To establish the uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies through the United States. That is yet to be really opened up and shown to the United States, we the people, the structures of bankruptcy. Okay, it is an exploitation of illiteracy if you really know what you're doing, looking at that. The next one is to coin money, comma, regulate the value thereof, and a foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measures. That hasn't been up to par. That is so antiquated and out to date. These are all treasonous actions. Military, if I were president of the United States, I would have my top military leaders right there listening to these, and we'd be checking off a pass or fail. And if they fail, then that's a martial law to get in there and take over that issue, especially if it's happening in executive branches. To provide the punishment of counterfeiting the securities and current coin of the United States. I don't ever hear anything about enforcing our currency because everybody was always saying it's not worth anything, it's a fiat. All of that leadership should have been fired a long time ago for carnality, treasonous mind about our currency. Our currency is amazing if you really have your study under your belt. The next thing it says on this list is to establish the post offices and the post roads. So it isn't just the post offices are let's go ahead and throw the post offices in there with FedEx and UPS and all these guys who are competing against each other and jacking up their prices. The post office and the postal roads where the post goes in the United States is holy ground. And by you pulling that away or even threatening to pull that away, that is a treasonous action against the securities of the United States of America, obstructing all freedoms of justice that are implemented by the freedom of the press going through the mail system. You're also committing fraud against all the security accounts of the post office. There is multiple egregious frauds here to shut down the post system, okay? You're disenfranchising once again our Constitution of the United States to the freedoms of the people. The next one of these is to promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries. You have implemented this thing called the web, the World Wide Web, hacking into intelligence, hacking into discoveries, hacking into intellectual properties of writings. All of my cases in the 9 years I've been in the court, they already knew what I was going to say before I said it. They already knew what I was going to write before I wrote it. Some of those deliberations and briefs that I finished poofed up into the cloud before I even got them, fully sent. Next one is to constitute tribunals inferior to the Supreme Court. No disclosure, no connection. Nobody knows when these are going on to be a part so we the people you can hear our voice. Next one, to define and punish piracies, which has happened to us in this tech sector with the measure of pixelations and securitizations and fractionalizations and bifurcations. All of these are pirated from us and felonious, it says, and felonies committed on the high seas and offenses against the law of nations. This isn't just going on high seas, maritime jurisdiction. All of that is happening on paper. Administrative jurisdiction in maritime jurisdiction, also known as the high seas. Next one, to declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisal, and make rules concerning captures on land and water. Nothing's really talked to us about that, and there is no letters of marque, which is royalty, and this other one is reprisal, which is that you will then you have had maybe a role in something once at some time, but you've been reprised or pulled away from that for whatever reasons. The next one is to raise and support armies, but no appropriation of money to that use shall be for a longer term than 2 years. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. To provide and maintain a navy. Okay, but that doesn't give us any provisions. To make rules for the government and regulation of the land and naval forces. Well, we don't just have naval forces, we have army, we have navy, we have air force, and we have marines. Clearly, this document is antiquated without including our air force, our marines, and our army. We wouldn't even be able to be writing this book now. Okay, next, to provide for calling forth of the militia to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions. That hasn't happened. To provide for organizing armies and disciplining the militia and for governing such part of them as may be employed in the service of the United States, reserving to the states respectively. The appointment of the officers and the authority of training the militia according to the discipline prescribed by Congress. Congress is not to do this. The states are to do this. The states are to stand on their own 2 feet and dictate to the state the protections of the state and the fact that the people are 9/10 of the state. The state of all things in that state is walking directly on the being covered or carried directly by the people, we the people. The last thing it says here in Section 8 of Article 1 of the Constitution of the United States is to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district not exceeding 10 miles square as may be cession of particular states and the acceptance of Congress become the seat of the government of the United States, and to exercise like authority over all places purchased by the consent of the legislature of the state in which the same shall be, for the erection of forts, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other needful buildings, and to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested by this Constitution of the government of the United States or in any department or office thereof. This is just, you guys, the very first article of the Constitution, and it goes directly into, if you do not set precedents of this particular article, Articles 8, and you don't put that down and you put the stake in the ground and you establish a bedrock foundation in that, because we've lost all of these founding fathers who signed off on this. New Hampshire, John Langdon, Nicholas Gilman. Connecticut, William Samuel Johnson, Roger Sherman. Massachusetts, Nathaniel Gorman and Rufus King. New York, Alexander Hamilton. New Jersey, William Livingston, David Brealey, William Patterson, and Jonathan Dayton. Maryland, James McHenry, Daniel of St. Though Jennifer, Daniel Carroll. Virginia, John Blair, James Madison. Pennsylvania, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Milfin, Robert Morris, George Clymer, Thomas Fitzsimons, Jared Ingersoll, James Wilson, Governor Morris. North Carolina, William Blount, Richard Dobbs Speight, Hugh Williamson. South Carolina, John Rutledge, Chase Cotesbury Pinckney. Pierce Butler, Georgia, William Few, Abraham Baldwin, Delaware, George Reed, Gunning Bedford June, John Dickerson, Richard Bassett, and Jacob Broom. Test, William Jackson is the secretary writing this out. These are the men and women, men only, that actually signed their names, lost their lives. These are our founding fathers. George Washington was the president of the United States and the deputy of Virginia at the time this was signed. And we are to walk in these footsteps, and we are to comply to this Constitution and stop disenfranchising us from it. We want our freedom of the press back. We want our freedom of speech back. We want our freedom to vote back. We want all of our freedoms, including the post office. That is a covenant of the United States of America to the people, that we will be faithful to deliver your mail, wind, rain, or sleet or snow, that the government of the United States of America shall honor the people, we the people, with a commerce system and with a mail system and with the freedom of the press and speech system that will honor the United States herein and therein. I am your president, Misha G. Valdez. I have taken an oath to protect the covenants and the seat of the United States presidency of the United States of America. I have taken an oath before God and my and all the powers that be on 12/12 of 12. It started this mission status behind the scenes for America, to govern and guide America what they cannot see, to take possession of it even if they cannot see it, even if I don't get the popular vote. God said, go ahead and do it. And so I have it, and I have it for you, and I'm waiting for you to see me and say, let's vote for her, because I can't give you really what I have for you until you see me, connect to me, and understand that we have a Constitution. They're doing all they can to disenfranchise us from this and our Bibles. If you're going to let them do that and status quo not rise up and say we deserve these things, including our equity, which is $600 billion per person, we have got to start rising up and making a stand and demanding these things in the corporate power of we the people. The argument has been from the 1,000,001%. They sit around their fireplaces with their great big cigars, guys club, and they say to themselves, how are we supposed to give these people all their wealth when they can't even read, write, and do arithmetic? That's nuts. That's insane. That's whatever. No, it isn't. You just go ahead and do it. You put it over into the Maiden's court, give it to the executors of my trust, because I have a blind trust, the same way President Trump's supposed to be in a blind trust right now, but I did the homework and they're running tandem with him, investing in everything he does. So you guys can do that legally for me. Warren Buffett has our Bank of America CD. I mean, that could be really doing great things. We have other people. You guys know when you have paper on me or Stephen James Valdez, and you know I'm right, and you know you have possession of those securities, you need to be moving behind the scenes as an angel unto all that God is wanting to do through your life in a positive way. For our estate and on behalf of number 1, New Mexico, number 2, all of the states in the United States, and number 3, unto the sector of faith that allows me to come forward in Jesus Christ and speak on authority unto God, from God unto all the promises that he has for them corporately and independently, and in our ecclesiastical jurisdiction, all jurisdictions actually. Okay. So if you want me in your face and you want me to start, really kind of saying, okay, we're going to sue you now. We're going to go down. We're going to take out the Congress. We're going to take out you guys because you don't even care. You've left the court. You've gone home. You've done nothing. And it says right here what you should be doing. And you're not doing it. And you're not even prioritizing it. You're tired. Well, we're all tired. And if you listen closely, you got people who are crying in the middle of the night in so much pain because they don't have all of your resources. And Kamala Harris, you have disqualified yourself, not on your birther, but on your lack of ability to walk away from the Bar Association oaths and stand for something that you could possibly get in big trouble for now that you are a great big attorney. You're on the side of the betrayers and the pirates. You're on the side of the pawns that stand there and pander to the paychecks of attorneys and all your privileges. But your duty, you're supposed to involve duty to your honor of privilege, and you drop the ball there and just bully your way through. I don't appreciate that. And it's more status quo in the face of all that has been in the wake of the Biden-Obama presidency. And just because people are black, I honor that, but just because people are black does not mean they're the right person for the job of freedom. Doesn't mean it. I'm sorry. So I get it that even Jesus could possibly be black. So I do get it. You need to honor the Black African-American race. I'm all about that. But I will not turn my head, look the other way, and pander to the sentimentalities of being a slave because you guys are having such a great old home week and Miss Prom Queen won the vice president, whatever. I'm happy for you and your plastic surgery and all this new stuff you got, in your ambiance. But honestly, I'm not impressed. And Joe Biden's on the same thing. You guys are drinking the Kool-Aid all the way down the prom queen thing. So I just want to say thank you, but please, unless you've got a real vision, be honest that you don't. And if you do, then I want to hear what it is. I want to see where your study has produced something here. Because honestly, all I feel is copied. You guys don't have any original ideas, and now they're saying that you're going to be the goddess of creating wealth. Well, why haven't you done it up until now? Because you're going to try to pull this out of your hat on your side of the bar. That's going to be a trap for everybody. More predatory lending, more of your predatory structures that you were very much involved in bringing down California. I don't understand why you want to put us through more of this just because you want to be the prom queen. I really can't even believe you're there. So I am saying it is a treasonous action for the Congress, legislation, administrative, jurisdiction, DOJ, any of you guys to look the other way about the post office when it's clearly right here in the Constitution. And if you do look the other way, you are letting this Constitution completely leave America. And you're saying, well, we're disenfranchised. No, we're not. Until America, we the people, says we're disenfranchised, we're not. We still hold to this, but we need your power, authority, and endorsement to bond us once again, to officially bond us to our Constitution, where it is precedent over all code, everything, and it is no longer weakened and impotent of any jurisdiction, which it has been, and I can prove that to you. I've been in the courts. Okay, let's do this. God, move in power, move in might, bring us to our senses, Lord. All of us, in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.